Hello everyone, and what is going on? Hyperion-Blue-GT here. Let's get ready to go for another lap time challenge on Gran Turismo 7. Today's racetrack, we're going in to be at Tsukuba circuit by the choice between a sunny day or go for the rain by using one car that will be featured is the Audi TTS Coupé 2014 will be set and go hard to be on the gold medal objective in about a minute 9.728 seconds to get up onto 2 million GT credits. Well, it turns out that I just don't have one car to be collected in the garage to be registered to the car index. I'll have to be sure if I have to go enter for only one part selection that I'm about to choose with the advanced specified car for a rent. So I just went down to do some busy time and development after from the 24 Heroes Du Mans Racing Circuit for the Group 1 class and round 5 from the Manufacturers Cup on the 2023 GTWS season is about to get closer to be cleared from week number 3. Almost forgot one other thing to have one specified car to be required before entered, so instead, Comfort Stop Tires is now going check to be well enabled to see how one Coupé road car to be put up and get challenging to be on two choices between onto the dry or wet surface. Time for me to go entered, and this time it's about to go all-wheel drive to have 305 horsepower, 3,053 pounds, aspiration type is turbo to be on the performance point of 530.43. Gonna have to choose any kinds of different color selection when using with the advanced specified car whenever I like. Gonna have to go with Sapan Blue Pearl effect, checking regulation, go complete, and going applied onto the BOP regulation will be set to be on the low speed track. So be very careful when we're racing on the rain. It's about to get slippery. Just to have the Comfort Stop Tires is now delicately to be well put up and set to be on the main current position to go faster and speed up to be on the wet surface. So as always, if you're new to my YouTube channel, be sure click the subscribe button, then leave a like and comment at the section down below. Check out the links on the description if you want to see more. Don't forget to click the bell for notification on upcoming content videos in the later future. Let's get ready to go and start the lap time challenge. Let's begin. So almost forgot for having a reminder notice in about over an hour left by adding up by 37 minutes until the ranking registration will end. Just to have a good correction to be on the weather forecast is about to get much more challenging to be on a wet surface to go for having a steam foggy condition. Well, if I have to go down to do some position just to have a helping hand to go for the main assistance. Just gonna have to go around between a minute, 7, 8 or 9 seconds. Just gonna have to go down to do some all-wheel drive to have the differences between the understeer and oversteer just to make sure. Sounds like a big plan because it might be quite going much more basic and well, I can't say this because a big plan and just gonna have to go down to have a main search to have a replay icon to have a simple assistant. So there's one Japanese Gran Turismo player to give a good title pronounced name on it. It looks like Masute_44 just barely took 1 minute. 8.680 seconds is now having a perfect position to go with 1022nd place. Time to load up the ghost, download, and success. Let's see how it turns out because standard plain color with no livery design variation is all I need to have. Let's give it a go and put up to have the weather radar without any surveillance lookout. Just to have a simple piece of cake, just like racing on to the Autopolis International Racing Course for the Toyota Alphahard Executive Lounge 2018. But here it comes, just going to keep a good main progression to go on over to have hairpins onto the first part in turn 1. Gonna have to keep a good lookout because the wet surface is now go on the full effect to be on the asphalt. Because just going to keep a good decent turn, don't get too much, it'll be going severely overwhelmed. So that's hairpin 2. Going to proceed on to sector 2. Gonna have to go down and do some national B and A licenses we'll have to put to the test. but especially to have the circuit experience by using the Group 4 edition on the Mitsubishi Lancer Evolution. But in the meantime, I can't wait to see which next real car is going to be look like. We're having a different racetrack by using the Genesis, so this is going to get much more thrillable to have the first time ever to have a South Korean luxury sedan car will be put to the test. So we're going to have to go proceed, stay on track, and go progressively to have around in a minute and 10 seconds is going to have to take some time. Okay, gonna have to keep a good main progression, but I know this is gonna be another easy piece of cake lap time challenge for only one part of the road car to have a good rain condition. But somehow, it gets slippery. All you might need to do is gonna have to find a good line and beat the wet surface around onto this different environment condition around in Tsukuba. Gonna amp it up. Go proceed to be well cleared to have 3 hairpins and especially to have some few corners to be coming around. Okay, looks like 0.3 seconds is doing well. Just gonna have to stay steady focus, and then final corner we'll be doing wide open. Okay, that's 0.4 seconds. Just going to keep a good less gap, more distance to be speed up to be improved. That's third lap times the charm. Gonna have to go update by around in a minute and 10 seconds is going average on the silver. And that means I'm not gonna have to stick it to the first turn of the hairpin. It may be a bit of courage, but just going to keep a good throttle to be pushed up onto the main RPM. But it's a bit complicated, so all I need to do is going to find a wet surface to be maintained by the pace. Gonna have to keep going. Pushing forward to have the final corner after the rain stop, just to have a good rocky condition to be on a partly cloudy to have a good better weather forecast for today, folks. Well, especially to have that best choice to have a partly cloudy with some few chances on a wet surface. A tough challenges were only part of the road car to see how tested to see how challenges will be made to do it. Even perhaps that could be quite giving some more struggles and do some amp up onto the main speed of progression to get up and closely for having another part of the gold lap time challenge. So gonna have to go proceed on to hairpin 2. Okay, keep a good steady turn. Gonna have my ghost car to be on surveillance radar. Kick it up in the low speed gear, going up on gear number 4. Now let's see how the wet surface can actually to handle my skill with this one. Okay, that's good. Just only a minute, 9.839 seconds to get nearly there onto the gold medal position on the ejected. But it's about to get much more challenging to go a little bit tougher. Yeah, just going to keep a good follow the line onto the yellow Audi TTS. But currently on the blue, it's still yet to be well progressively to be stay on the mid grip. Okay, a bit sloppy, but delicate. A bit more pushing, just going to keep going a short straightaway to be on the main up ahead. That's how the thinkable strategy is going to have to beat the track with a wet surface to come around onto the partly cloudy condition. Go for lap number 6. Let's beat turn 1. Close call for sure, but almost to avoid a penalty. That's how it turns out for only one wet condition to be real slippery. First sector check. Now going back on sector 2. It's going to take some time and go for a bit of short around to go for having a mid-video segment. Gonna have to beat my ghost car to catch up to the yellow one. Only the same car that sure is. So, well, am I gonna have to keep a good main lookout to have the main purpose? Steady closely. It's all about dropping in the all-wheel drive Audi TT. Go better on lap 7. Let's see how the speed is now going well cleared after the first hairpin on turn 1. Okay, that's a good one. Stay careful. More inside of the apex to keep a good line. Okay, looks like my ghost car just really did a good push, but not yet anymore. Here comes the final corner. This has got to be it. Alright, looks like that should be quite good enough to have an update lap time objective to go clear. That makes 1 minute, 9.742 seconds is now going well and perfectly to be on the main outcome standings at one session to be clear. So let's exit out. My best time is now going correction by 100% to be entered on the goal. 9.6 miles for having a new day after the 21st of June in the first day of summer. So go down onto the results after finishing in session 1. On sector 1 in the 7th lap, did a good average grip run to have a wet surface to be in 27.205 seconds. Sector 2 in the 5th lap, 30.367 seconds is now doing good. And for sector 3 on the 3rd lap, 12.057 seconds. Very clever. And much more fine decent is now well handled to be face up to have the wet surface around in Tsukuba. So here it is. Not close enough. Comparison to world record in about 3.02% in 29,933rd place. Well, I can't say this is definitely might be quite good enough, but almost exactly what leads a bit. Gonna have to go down onto the force feedback torque and sensitivity to add up just to have a little bit much more push to go added onto attempt number 2. So very close to call, and just gonna have to keep a good reminder next time before applied onto the main gold record objective. Still yet, but almost to get out from. Let's resume the time and get set. Same pattern as always, more distant, more push, and have my ghost car to be doing main purpose of the example. Okay, come on. Just gonna keep pushing. My ghost car still got that same lap time ever since from first session. Rip things up to pieces. Gets a little bit close through. Almost there on the final corner. Come on, aim towards the inside. Okay, there we go. Looks like made it on the goal, and update by the lap time is going much more precisely perfect in 0.563 seconds in about a minute and 9 seconds. Okay, looks like gold medal is now achieved. My record is now currently to be set by the update. Total distance is 11.4 miles on today's driving marathon. And even yet to have a final standings onto the first attempt to be in session 2 for attempt number 2. Sector 1 on the first lap is now currently to be updated in 27.288 seconds before coming up on sector 2, 30.323 seconds, and then almost to be at 12 seconds is now at sector 3 is 11.952 seconds. Piece of cake, by the way, folks. Piece of cake. And goal achieved by the letter G in goal for having a comparison to world record in 2.75% is now going up to 19,769 place in about an hour, 23 minutes, and 20 seconds remaining. Well, I kind of say this because Quick Times is now going to participate for every part of the current lap time challenge is now related to the road car, but a piece of cake and a best time to go for having a wet condition on Tsukuba for the partly cloudy. So I bet you guys did a good job out there before coming up before the next day is about to be set to have a different road car and a different racetrack after finishing on Tsukuba. That's how one all-wheel drive Audi is the best purpose ever since from GT Sport. A very good gold medal cleared and applied to have 2 million credits is now gold double up is now going right back onto the 10 million currency after participate from the virtual Olympic esports series. Just to have a good record that I just barely took and go for a different position is now being awarded. But after all, next road car in the lap time challenge will be at Brands Hatch Grand Prix circuit for the Genesis G70 3.3T all-wheel drive Prestige package 2022. Genesis G70 3.3T all-wheel drive Prestige package 2022 is now going to be set and have one commuter South Korean road car to see how it brand new from last year, because this might have a very good best opportunity that I'm about to try out with Genesis this time. But in the meantime, I'm always gonna have to keep a good reminder notice to have a current lap time in about 4 days left as the current ranking registration period will end. So much things to do. Takes a lot of mediocre work for myself. It's going to be a very bit of hard work for myself to be on the main development. But even of course to be our main time to go wrap this up at the end of the video, but especially to have tomorrow is going to be the 4th round of Toyota Gazoo Racing GT Cup at Autopolis International Racing Course BRC to have Toyota and Subaru will go at it for the 2nd year on GT7. But I'll have to be here because this time it's about the best effort, and move on forward we'll have to continue on for my journey along with my full walkthrough after finishing from the Manufacturers Cup on the 2023 series, and just gonna to keep a good lookout before at the end of the month while I'll have to be working on with Total Drama World Tour Libres with Team Victory, Team Amazon, and Team Chris is really hot. Is now going to be adding up to have some new different edition and different cars to be adding up to be exclusive around on Gran Turismo 7. So Total Drama Revenge of the Island is coming up soon in July. I'll have to make sure and keep continuing on for my roadmap to GT7 for Vision Total Drama. Thank you for watching on my video in Gran Turismo 7, folks. I hope you enjoyed. Just go subscribe to my YouTube channel for a like, comment, and click the bell for notifications on upcoming content videos if you like to see. And don't forget to follow me on any social media platforms like Deepnet Art, Instagram, GT Planet, Twitter, and more to see for my own image artwork like UDRS liveries, Total Drama fan art with card liveries, and more whenever you're welcome at any time. I'll be seeing you guys next time on Gran Turismo 7, and I look forward to see you again in the next video. Keep on racing, stay clean.